It's like it's James to throw first. Game on.
Well, that was nicely done by Webster. There were a few dangers there, and as you say, it was too good the first dart. Found the bull, but not a problem.
100.
And only had one dart at double six as well. So calmly done by Webster for a 2-2 scoreline, and on we go.
57.
I mentioned James Wade's been playing
60.
very, very good darts this year. 8 finals he's made in all. That includes his match play final and a final on the World Series of darts. That's not a ranked tournament, but
58.
in many ways, playing on a big stage in front of the cameras, and you've got some extremely good players, you know, MVG and Phil Taylor and the likes. You don't make the final of those World Series events unless you're playing well.
95.
He's won a couple of those finals. He's earned 200 grand this year since the Worlds. Not bad going, is it?
96.
Well, he's had a few things to pay for.
Well, yeah. I don't know how much has gone on the wedding, and I don't know.
Well, put it this way, Alexander O'Neill did the singing. Now that don't come cheap.
100.
I'm assuming.
No, I've never looked into what it would cost to hire Alexander O'Neill.
I was talking about this with Timo Gans, MC, earlier on. He'd never heard of Alexander O'Neill. I was horrified.
135.
There aren't many college footballers who become
146.
international pop stars. Anyway, back on the stage. Wade is closing in there, or he's looking to close in. Webster is lurking, although
94.
he's on 155
155.
with Wade on 52. He'd fancy Webster would have to take this out now, and he won't. But he'll just look to put himself in a good position just in case Wade slips up.
95. James Require 52.
He's right there with him.
Tops for Wade.
Game shot on the
Doesn't
fifth
have to go
leg.
to the double 10 this time.
6-legged mark to throw first. Game on.
I'm talking of Timo Gans. He's working on little projects about left-handed players at the moment, so I hope he's watching this one.
You've got two of the best right here. M.Webster, of course, a former world champion.
96.
Never a world champion, James Wade, despite his 7 major titles. Never made the final of the world championship.
Yeah, it seems strange, that, doesn't it?
Well,
58.
I think the big year for him was the time he lost to Adrian Lewis, when there was the draft across the stage that came off the stage, so he went back on. But
97.
he'll be a threat this year, I can assure you. James Wade has an incredible habit of winning close games. If it gets down to the last 2-3 legs, so a deciding set, he has an uncanny knack of just doing enough.
Yeah, I had this down for a 6-4.
59.
Wade just would be typical of him just to pull out a break of serve, or a break of throw, I should say, sorry, towards the latter stages of this
95.
particular match.
Well, right now the averages are 90 plays, 92. There you go. Very much a case of the James Wade formula, where Wade's average is equal to his opponent's average plus 1. He's so good at it. And, you know, he's not the biggest scorer in the world. Neither of these guys are scoring particularly heavily. The finishing is okay, a little bit better for
140.
Wade. He's taken out 70, 40, 52. He's so deadly on tops and tens. Webby, take this out. He's not going to, so Wade has got a chance here.
The break is potentially on.
41.
Break of throws. Apologies for the break of serve. I was talking tennis with Elmar Polka earlier. It's on the brain. Wade with a shout here. That leaves 52. Tops he wants.
48.
He's just under the wire, so he'll have to go to double 10, but the question is, will he get the opportunity? Webster can't really afford to slip up here. That's a lovely first start.
And that is a save from M.Webster. Under pressure, but he gets that leg, and it's 3 apiece.
100. 100.
Well, still a difficult one to predict this.
41.
Well, if this had been one of the European Tour events, any of the 8 prior to this one, prior to the World Grand Prix, you'd say, Wade will do this. Wade this is fine. It'll plod along like this, and Wade will just pull out the leg that he needs, and that'll be that. But I just have a different feeling about Mark Webster following that run at the Grand Prix. That maybe he's just got enough to summon up the leg or two he needs that can swing it his way. He's not going to leave a finish here.
Well, his mindset must be, well, anything I do here is a bonus following last weekend, so the pressure is off to some extent. Obviously he wants to do well and go as far as he can, but he has that security blanket. 100. The financial security blanket, and the...
I think as well, he's the first to acknowledge that he isn't back to where he was just yet.
No.
Either. It's a work in progress. You know, he spent months just working on his throw. You can see it's not as fluid as it used to be, but it's a heck of a lot better than it was a year ago.
100.
He is winning games.
146.
Oh, 146. What a shot this would be. Not going to happen. So Wade to return. 20 for tops for a 4-3 lead. We've had 6 holds of throw so far in this game. Is this number 7?
Gage on the 7th leg.
4-3 Wade.
8 legged Mark to throw first. Game on.
Snip and tuck. Wade gets his nose back in front once again here. Mentioned Wade's got things to pay for, or had things to pay for. So too Webster became a father earlier this year. The arrival of his daughter Ella, perhaps giving him a new perspective on life and such things. The nappy factor we referred to yesterday.
96.
Wade just stepping over to the right side of the oche.
140.
It's a fairly good effect as well.
I can't think of many legs in this match so far when he's won by 200 odd points.
134.
Pretty much neck and neck all the way through.
Again,
Webby hits 2 trebles, Wadey hits 2 trebles.
Yeah, the averages are similar and the checkout percentages are similar as well. Just the one maximum so far. Webster with the 180, which is what you'd expect from Wade as well. He's not the sort who's going to rattle off 180 after 180. He is the machine. He'll just get the job done. He'll just do enough, and he's just about doing enough here at the moment as well. Webster in a good position to level things up for a 4th time of asking.
65.
Well, is it straight at the double 19, or does he split it? Double 6.
Well, he took it out before with 1 dart, and he doesn't this time. So an outside chance here for Wade.
He's so good at these kind of finishes, though, James Wade. 76 left. Which way does he go? Yeah, treble for double 8. Not his favourite side of the board, but it might well be a match-winning visit for James Wade. 96 goes. It's the first breaker throw. And now he's throwing to close out the match 6-3. And, well, if he does, you would have to say a typical James Wade performance.
Well, as we suggested just a few minutes ago, Wade, it would be no surprise to see him pull off a crucial breaker throw in the latter stages of the match. Just get the advantage he needs and finish the job. That's all it takes. And he's looking good here.
108!
Well, he doesn't rattle off 180 after 180, but he's pulled one off at the perfect time.
Talk about not giving your opponent a sniff of a chance. It's all Webby, the back of the stage there, chuntering to himself as Wade finally decided it was time to fire in a big scoring shot. And look at this. 320 in 2 visits to leave himself 100 for a potential 11 dart leg, and there's only one way you break an 11 dart leg, and Mark Webster is several perfect darts away from doing it. He's not played badly here, Webby.
Not at all.
But he's come up against James Wade, who has just James Waded him.
I thought he might go tops, but he's not under any pressure with Webster on 285. And he just sets it up for another visit. It would be nice to see Webster rattling a maximum here just for good measure, but he won't.
100.
Well, even a second trouble would have given him a finish, but there's no pressure on this, and even if there were, you don't think James Wade feels it. A 6-3 win, a 13 darter to round things off. That 96 in the penultimate leg gave him the break of throw that just made it a little bit more comfortable than it might have been. But James Wade just did a James Wade job on Mark Webster there. He's through, and he'll face either Caven or Whitlock here in the last 16 of the European Darts Grand Prix. We'll find out which man it's going to be in just a few moments' time as Caven takes on the 14th seed here in Sindelfingen. We'll grab a few words with Wadey, and then the action continues.
A strong match above all on the doubles. Over 60% you hit. It's actually a tough test to play Mark Webster these days in the first round of a tournament.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time since Mark's played his real darts, you know, and I'm one of the fortunate ones in recent times where Mark hasn't played how he can. You know, but I had a real disappointing result in Ireland. Mensah Zulovic played really well. I haven't left the practice dartboard since, so to get up here and play like that is slightly disappointing, but you know, to beat someone like Mark, I'm really happy with, and I look forward to my next game, whoever it may be, and hopefully my practice game comes out. But like I say, it's a shock, you know, to play Mark playing like that. But you know, sometimes those games are harder to win than the real, you know, the high class games. So you know, I'm happy, and I'm playing later.
James, I was wondering, a guy, someone who reached and won so many big titles in his career. If you could choose being #1 in the world or being the next world champion, which one would it be?
Neither, because you have to earn them, you know, and if you play well enough, you'll win a lot of titles, and if you play even better, you'll be world #1. But I mean, it's very hypothetical thinking.
But is it more the ranking you're looking on, or is it more the big titles?
I just want to play darts, you know. I want to play darts how I did a while back, but you know, there's no point in thinking about the past. But you know, I love winning titles and I love playing darts, you know. I've never been world #1, but you know, as you said, you know, would you pick a title or world #1? I wouldn't pick any, you know, because if you play great darts, you'll be world #1 and you'll win the titles. But there's one small problem there: you have to play well enough to do it.
We are glad to have you here. Thank you very much, James Wade.